Hello, I'm Emily Barker. Welcome to Essentials Roundup of the Week across the Australian Union Movement. ACTU Secretary Dave Oliver has called for penalty rates to be enshrined in law, guaranteeing workers extra pay for weekend work. Addressing the National Press Club in Canberra, Dave also called for a portability scheme for casual workers that would allow them to take their accumulated entitlements from job to job. With 40% of the workforce now in casual and contract work, the plight of insecure workers will be at the centre of this year's federal election campaign. Manufacturing workers have welcomed the Gillard government's commitment to provide more opportunities for Australian blue-collar workers. Under the plan, developers of major resource and infrastructure projects will need to be upfront about their use of local content and local workers. The government has also announced it will establish 10 innovation hubs around Australia to be funded by reducing tax concessions to Australia's wealthiest companies. More than 1 million Australian workers are employed in the manufacturing industry, but the high Aussie dollar and use of cheap foreign labour by some companies is putting pressure on many of these jobs. For more info, go to the Making Our Future website. Unions have set 2030 as the target date for making Australia asbestos-free. While the risks to workers have been well publicised, the campaign is highlighting the ongoing dangers to home renovators, with 2/3 of Australian homes being built between World War II and 1983 containing the fibre. At the launch was Serafina Salucci, who contracted mesothelioma in 2007 after playing with fibro sheeting in her backyard as a child.
When I was originally diagnosed, I'd never heard of it. I had no idea what it was. So I remember asking the specialist at the time, what is mesothelioma? And he said to me, it's an asbestos-related cancer, it's incurable and you'll never be rid of it.
To back the campaign, go to the Asbestos Free Future website. In the West, unions are gearing up for a March state election where the focus is on the impact of public service cuts under the first term of the Barnett government. Unions are arguing the government has got its priorities all wrong and is not spreading the benefits of the boom across the state. Meanwhile, WA prison officers have been running this hard-hitting advert about the impact of cuts to prison spending.
Working among some of our state's most violent criminals is a risky job. Without a nearby staff member, Andy could have died when an inmate snapped a toilet brush and stabbed him in the neck.
And finally, in scenes that a federal court judge has described as being out of a James Bond movie, a high-profile IR consultant has been busted secretly recording a union official wearing a microphone hidden in her bra. Former union organiser turned right-wing commentator Grace Collier may have breached the law while going undercover at a Werribee picket. Unions are planning their response by issuing organisers with shoe phones and conducting all future meetings under the cone of silence. Well, if you have a news lead, email us at info@essentialvision.com.au and don't forget to check out our latest Essential poll at the Essential Vision website. Well, that's all for this week. I'm Emily Barker. See you soon.